Hey, so today I'm talking about just the grand staff and all the notes that are on it. So I've already drawn it out. I've drawn treble clef and bass clef, and so on each clef we have two staffs. So we have 5 lines and 4 spaces up at the top. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 4 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4. On the bottom, it's the same thing, 5 lines and 4 spaces. The difference is that treble clef is everything, or we play treble clef from middle C going all the way up the piano. And then bass clef starts at middle C as well and goes down the piano. So usually treble clef we play with our right hand, and bass clef we play with our left hand. I'm not going to go into bass clef at the moment. I'm just going to stick with treble clef, and I hope that you can see. So the first thing that we're going to talk about is the spaces. Let's talk about the spaces. So like I said, there are 4 spaces. And the way that this works is every space and line has a name using the musical alphabet. So the first space is an F, the second space is an A, third space is a C, and the 4th space is an E. So if you notice, these 4 spaces spell out face. So that's a good way to remember the spaces. And this only applies to treble clef. So this clef here. And then now for the lines, we have 5 lines. And the way to remember it is starting at the bottom line. We have I guess it's a mnemonic device. And it's every good boy deserves fudge. And so the beginning of the letter represents the note, the name of the line. So the first one is every. So every starts with an E. So this bottom line right here, here is E. The next line is good. So it starts with a G. So the second line would be G. Boy is next. So this third line is a B. Then deserves, so the 4th line is a D, and then fudge. So F is the top line. If you notice, if you start with E at this bottom line and move up to the space, it's F. If you go up the next note, which is the next line, it would be G. And it alternates going from line, space, line, space. So it just follows the alphabet. So E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F. The other two notes I want to talk about are they sit on top of this line up here. So after the F, if you think of the alphabet, comes G. So the G sits right on top of this line. It's technically in a space if you think about it. And then if you think about down here, we have E. If you think about what comes before E in the alphabet, it's D. So this note D sits right below the line. And then we have middle C, which is right in between bass clef and treble clef. Awesome. I hope that makes sense. It's really simple. There's nothing that's too, if you know your alphabet, then you'll get this. So I hope this makes sense. And then next time we'll talk about bass clef, and it's a little bit different, so yeah.